Hello students, Matthew and Arnold Study of Poetry Part 2. So in the previous lecture, we have discussed about historical estimate, personal estimate and real estimate, right? But the question arises here is, how can one recognize or identify the truly excellent or really excellent or real classic? So Arnold gives a method to identify the real classic and he gives the name Touchstone method for this. Okay, what is Touchstone method? It is a method to judge the quality of poetry, right? How a goldsmith hits the gold against a stone to know the quality or purity of gold. He uses this method to learn about the purities and impurities of gold. In the same way, Arnold uses this method to learn about the qualities of poetry. So it is a comparative method of criticism. So what do you understand from here? Arnold's method to identify the real classic is touchstone method. What is touchstone method? It is a method to judge the quality of poetry. How a goldsmith uses touchstone to understand the quality of gold, that is, the purities and impurities of gold. Similarly, Arnold also taken classical writer Homer and Dante's passages as touchstone to understand the various periods poets, right? Whether they are coming under classic poets or not. Okay, so it is a comparative method of criticism. So according to this method, in order to judge a poet's work properly, a critic should compare it to the passages taken from the works of great masters of poetry. Even a single line or selected quotation can serve the purpose. If the other work moves us in the same way as these lines and expressions do, then it is only a real classic. Otherwise, it is not. So, what is, according to him, is a classic work? When you read the classic writer's work, the way you get the feeling, how the work made you to feel, you know, similarly, when you read the various periods writers' work, when you feel similar feeling when you read the classical writer's work, then it comes under classic. Otherwise, it is not. Okay. The similar kind of feeling you have to get when you read the writers of various periods, right? How you feel when you read Homer and Dante, similar kind of feeling you have to get, right? To apply this method to various poets and ages, Arnold takes passages from the works of the great classics like Homer and Dante. The passages that Arnold takes have these qualities in common. So, what are the qualities they have in common, like Homer and Dante? Right? There are certain qualities. So, Arnold keeps those qualities as standard, as touchstone. So, he checks the other period poets, compare them with these qualities, whether they fit all those qualities. If not, they are not classical poets, right? Let us see what are the common qualities. The possession of the very highest poetical quality. So, the first one is highest poetical quality. Then, characters of high quality. And then, substance and matter in one hand, on the other hand, style and manner. So, the proper weightage balance should be there with substance and matter and style and manner. And they have the high accent of beauty, worth, and power. And the last one is high truth and high seriousness. So, these are the qualities have common Arnold found in Homer and Dante. So these are the qualities should be present in the various periods writer. If those qualities present in the works of the writers, then they come under classic poets. Otherwise, they are not. So first he has taken, you know, Chaucer. So Arnold applies the Touchstone method on Chaucer first. According to Arnold, Chaucer is a genuine source of joy and strength. So Chaucer, when he has taken the poems of Chaucer, he had agreed certain points and he disagreed with certain points. Based on that, he had given his opinion, right? This Chaucer has genuine source of joy and strength. His poetry has an excellent style and subject. He has divine fluidity of movement and diction. So these are the positive sides. But he cannot be called a classic. Why? Because he lacks high seriousness, which, according to Aristotle, very, very important. So, while he has taken Homer and Dante, the classical writers, uh, uh, as touchstone, because they followed what Aristotle has framed the rules, right? So, Chaucer fits all these qualities there. What are the qualities? Excellent style and subject, divine fluidity, movement and diction, and genuine source of joy and strength. But he did not have high seriousness. According to Aristotle, that is very, very important. He did not possess that. So he is not a classical writer. He cannot be called as a classical poet according to Arnold. Okay, so next one is Chaucer applies the method to Elizabethan age. From Elizabethan age, he has taken Shakespeare, and then from Puritan age, he has taken Milton. So when he compared Shakespeare with Dante and Homer, and Milton with Dante and Homer, they both fulfilled all the qualities. They have the high seriousness, high truth, right? All the qualities. So, according to Arnold, these two come under classical poets. Okay, so when he compared Chaucer with the other two, he felt that Chaucer lacks high seriousness, so Chaucer did not come under the grouping of classical poets, whereas Shakespeare and Milton possess all the qualities according to Arnold, and they both are considered as classic poets. And he applies this method in age of Dryden. So this age is regarded as superior to that of others for the sweetness of poetry. And this age, they formed full of rules and regulations. The restriction that were imposed on the poets were uniformity, regularity, precision, and balance. So this age is actually called the age of prose. So Arnold also agreed that we can consider Pope and Dryden are prose classic, not poet classic. Okay, so according to him, Dryden and Pope are prose classics, not poet classics. And then he applies the method in Thomas Gray. So he is our classic poet and scantiest. He lived with the great poets, with the Greeks, studying and enjoying them and catching their poetic point of view and poetic manner. So he is the scantiest and frailest of classics in our poetry. But he is a classic. Okay, according to him, Gray possesses all the qualities which he has mentioned earlier. So according to him, Gray comes under classic poets. And then next one is Burns. So in Burns' poems, he deals with the Scottish dress, Scottish manners, and Scottish religion. According to Arnold, the Scottish world is not a beautiful one. And Burns moralizes in some of his poems and disregards morality in actual life. Right? So, according to these things, according to Arnold, it seems insincere. So, his pathos is intolerable. Like Chaucer, he lacks high poetic seriousness. So, he is not classic. In this way, Arnold applies the Touchstone method to various poets and finds out that poets like Shakespeare, Milton, and Gray are classic poets, while Chaucer, Pope, Burns are Dryden are not classics. So, through this essay, Arnold wants to convey that we should not be affected by historical and personal estimates. Rather, we should enjoy the real classic that belongs to the class of very best. We can clearly feel and deeply enjoy the best by affecting ourselves only by real estimate. The best way to identify the real classic is to apply the Touchstone method, by which we can clearly identify the wide difference between real classics and others. As Arnold identifies the difference between classics like Shakespeare, Milton, and Gray belong to classic poets, the group under classic poets, and others like Chaucer, Dryden, Pope, Burns are not classic poets. Whereas we can say Dryden and Pope are prose classics. Okay, with this, the study of poetry is completed. Okay, all those points you have to remember. You have to write some biographical details of Matthew Arnold, and you have to write, discuss about the high historical estimate and real estimate and then personal estimate. So you should know the difference among these three, and then you have to understand what is Touchstone method and who are the classical writers that Arnold has taken passages from that, and you have to understand using those passages and from various ages who are the poets he has taken to study whether they they are classic writers or not. Okay, so with this we can complete the study of poetry. Thank you.